Apple recently held their WWDC conference on Tuesday, where they released some new products and released some new explain about some of their new operating systems available on the Mac, on the
What is
iPad.
WWDC? Do you know?
It's World something conference.
Worldwide Developers Conference.
Conference, Worldwide
Right. Right.
Development Conference. And so, Apple released a bunch of their new stuff. They released a 15-inch iPad Air MacBook Air. But the thing that captured most headlines and the thing that got most people talking are their new Apple Vision Pro. Have you guys seen
Mm.
the Vision Pro? Have you seen what it looks like and heard what it can do and stuff like this?
I know nothing about it. I've seen the price everywhere.
As you
People are like,
do.
"Oh my god, it's that much money! Oh my god, it's that much money!" That's all I've seen. I haven't actually. I've been really interested in like. I just forgot about it. I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna like watch a video."
Right.
There's a video. What's his name? That the tech, the black guy.
MKBHD.
That's the
MKBHD.
guy. Yeah, he's got great videos. So I was gonna watch his video on it, and then I was like, I just
Right,
forgot.
right. So for the people who don't know, this is Apple Vision Pro. The Vision Pro is essentially a AR headset that Apple has been working on for years and years and years. Um, so a lot of people have seen the sketches of the headset, and there's been multiple leaks about it, and people were like, people were speculating that this was gonna be like a VR thing, because in
Mm.
the past, you have your Meta Quest, you have your what's it called, the other one,
Or
the Oculus,
Oculus.
the Oculus one. These are all
Mm.
VR headsets. But Apple has leaned very much into the AR world, augmented reality. And for the people who don't
Mm.
know, that's essentially putting like a screen over your real world, if that makes sense. So you're able to interact with your actual world in a technological way. So you'll be able to
Mm.
have, your home page and stuff like this up, whether up FaceTime calls and all these type of things up, like you'll see them, but you'll also still be able to see the real world around you and
Right.
all this
So
stuff.
like I think I've heard someone compare it to Tony Stark, like Iron Man.
Yes, very much like Iron Man, or
Mm.
even kind of like Pokemon Go. But it's Pokemon Go,
Mm.
but on a like crazy like upscale.
Yeah,
Um,
interesting.
Oh,
So
so
essentially what it's leading to is like where you can have contact lenses in, walk
oh,
around your
100.
house, and
Oh,
you can like, I don't know, look at yourself and it can tell you your height and your weights for the day. You can just do something in front of you and it can like turn the light on, lights off.
oh yeah, 100%. Well, I mean, we're already there anyway, but this will just take it to a whole new level.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's what engineers do, right? Engineers just find a
Mm.
way to make things smaller, faster, better.
oh, yeah,
Mm.
that's
And
a big step in technology. It's just like phones. You know when they started with these brick phones,
yeah,
because the same
Mhm.
with this AR headset where you have this
yeah,
massive battery that you have to shove in your pocket. But like
yeah.
over time, it's just gonna be smaller.
Yeah. So yeah, you've
Mm.
touched on it. So that's one of the things that with the AR, with this Vision Pro, one of the things is that it has a cord that's attached to a battery that you can then put on your like bodily persons or whatever. So that way it doesn't have to be on your head, because most headsets they have it on the head, and that's what's
Mm.
kind of what makes it heavy. But the thing with Apple though is with the Vision Pro is that the headset in of itself is made out of glass and metal. So had they put that battery on the headset as well, oh my goodness,
Ooh,
it would have been
somehow
like,
you'll be tumbling.
yeah, it would have been crazy heavy. Like you would have been
Mm.
fatigued in like 30 minutes. Um, so some of the features that it has, the headset has a, like I said, like I mentioned, a glass front and an aluminum frame, and it contains
You mean aluminium?
no, aluminum, contains 5 sensors, 12 cameras, and a 4K display on each of the eyes. You have
4K on each.
people. Like, let's get this straight away. Yeah, a 4K. Imagine a 4K TV, but on each of your eye.
Yeah.
Like, bro, like, compute this in a sec. Yeah. So now you're watching. So like, basically, your whole world is just 4K. When anytime you wear this thing, that's crazy. And obviously it has the M2 chip right now, and they have this thing called the R1 chip, which is basically their spatial computing chip. By the way, let me just go off on a tangent real quick. Apple's been calling this a spatial their introduction to spatial computing. For the people who don't know, spatial computing just means AR. You know how Apple just likes to make things like very Apple-y. They just didn't want to say the word AR. Spatial computing means AR. Don't get fooled by the words and all these. It's just AR. That's what it. Pokemon Go is spatial computing. Do you know what I mean?
Interesting.
It's the same way Face ID is facial recognition. Like, there's no don't get confused by all the words. But you know, like I meant, they lean very heavy on the AR, but it still does have some VR function to it too. So one of the things that they showed was that with the dial that's on the headset, you can turn it so that you can have this virtual reality experience to where you can, for example, watch like a movie on the biggest screen possible, like at the comfort of your own home, stuff like
Right.
that, and things of that nature.
Yeah. Interesting.
I like how they integrated gaming into it as well. So
Yeah.
like you're able to connect to your PS5. I don't know how they're gonna do it. It might be through Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, but you're able to play games through the headset, which is crazy to me. That's like it just tells you how much we moved forward because like do you understand how much technology gaming would require, like graphic cards, just to process all this information?
Bro, it's crazy. And the thing
I
with
wonder how.
go on,
Go on.
sorry.
No, you go.
So, and the thing is too is that because it's in the Apple ecosystem, right? I'm not sure. I don't think you guys aren't part of the Apple ecosystem, right?
No.
So me, as someone who's part of the Apple ecosystem, for example, right? Everything sort of just connects and works
I feel like
seamlessly.
when you say that, you're looking down on us.
Oh
It's
no,
like
100%.
you guys who are not.
No,
No.
you guys, like, if this was Hunger Games, I'm in District 1, 100%. Maybe 2, because I don't have everything else. But
Hold on a minute. Just because they change certain names, it doesn't make it
bro,
Face
it
ID.
does. It does. 3D touch is another one. We'll get rid of that.
VP.
Everything works seamlessly together. So,
Mm.
for example, I currently am using my phone's web camera as a webcam without having to connect without having to connect the phone to the computer, for example. Things like AirDrop and, being able to just swipe across, like if I had an iPad, being able to just swipe things from my iPad to my MacBook. Like, these are things that you can do in Windows, for example. But this is just something that is just sort of like native to iOS. Things that you can just move things from your phone to your watch to your MacBook to the iPad and all these type of things. So I say all that to say, with the Vision Pro, bro, like, what things you're watching as soon as you get home, things that if you were watching a YouTube podcast, if you're watching the Dunya's Gone Crazy on your phone, on the train, and you now
As
get
people
home
do, yeah.
and you have the Vision Pro and you just flick it and it's there, brother, and you're watching us in HD, like, sorry, excuse me, 4K. Are you crazy, bro?
Hold on. The doorbell goes ding ding. That's your Uber Eats. Do you have to take off? Nah.
No, because you can see him. You just dial it back to AR, and then this is the thing that has sort of divided a lot of people. Like, if you use the thing where you can see the world, the cameras inside will basically video your eyes, right? And then
right.
and then it will share it on the screen on the outside of the goggle, so now people can see your eyes. It looks weird. I can't lie. How do you guys feel about that one? About the eyes thing?
one thing that weirded me out is that the fact that the headset will scan your face, and let's say if someone FaceTimes you, or let's say if you're in a business environment where you have a Zoom call, the headset would kind of convert your face like through AI, and
Yeah,
then so you
it'll
would follow, yeah. So you
it'll
don't
make
have to have your physical.
it'll make an advanced avatar basically of
Mm.
yourself. So it won't see your face. You can't just FaceTime anymore. It'll be like a avatar of you, but a really advanced version avatar of you, and it will mimic
Oh
the way
yeah,
you talk and all these type of
smile,
things. Exactly. Yeah.
blink
Yeah.
with one eye.
I
Not
like the eye
winking.
thing personally. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I think it adds that like human touch because I'm just thinking about a world like imagine this just became the norm. Everyone is wearing one of these, and you couldn't see anyone's eyes. The connection would just be lost completely
I
in
suppose.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw something recently where they were talking about basically like eye contact and how a lack of eye contact can be seen as kind of threatening. So if you're
Mm.
having a conversation with someone, I think it was talking about like relationships, and it said like
Mm.
if you're driving in the car, and one of the reasons you always argue when you're driving in the car is because you are looking straight and you kind of give each other kind of side eye, and that is
Okay.
like a threatening thing, like not directly looking at somebody. Um, so yeah, that was interesting to me, but yeah. So
No,
I
I
think
hear it.
it's a really, really good touch. I just wonder if it will actually become a thing because it's obviously comparable to virtual reality.
Mm.
And virtual reality was supposed to be this massive, massive thing where people thought everyone would have it in their homes, and it just kind of flopped. It just failed. Like in terms of the what they were expecting in terms of sales and what they forecasted and estimated for the future.
I
Uh,
I kind of
But
disagree.
mm,
Go on, Hussein.
I feel like they made a massive step to where they made it portable. So
Mm.
now really, I mean, it takes one person to do something great for others to follow, and I feel like other companies will make it a lot more affordable, and because it is portable, I think it's gonna be much easier. And I feel like Apple's gonna have huge sales here just because of people will always want something that's you're able to take around with you.
mm,
The reason I disagree is that I don't think VR flopped. I think that some people just didn't consider it as. I think some people didn't want to be guinea pigs of VR just yet. I think they saw the early versions, the early models, and they were like, I can see how this would go, and just didn't find the need to be part of the first gen users. You
mm.
know, similar to the iPhone, for example. The first iPhone came out, a lot of people bought it, like millions of people bought it. But I think some
Yeah.
people were like, nah, like just not yet, because
But
I can see where this is going.
you look at something like the Nintendo Wii. Nintendo Wii is one of the most sold consoles ever. It was amazing and it was revolutionary.
I had one.
It came out, yeah, like everyone had a Wii, or most people had a Wii. And it was, you had Wii Sports where you had like the tennis and the bowling
I
and the
loved it.
boxing. Like that was so good. Like Mario Sonic had the Olympic Games, like all these
The boxing,
Mario Kart.
the boxing
Yeah.
game actually made me sweat.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, it was really good.
it was really fun.
And then you had Wii Fit as well, which
Mm.
was another thing they came out with. And it like I have a Wii now. Like I bought a Wii recently in the last like year, or not bought, like I got it from family. They were just like, yeah, we don't want it. I was like, yeah, we'll take it.
Right.
Yeah, but that was revolutionary, and that was in most homes around the world who could afford one.
Yeah.
Um, Compared to that, virtual reality really was not. I think that people expected more of virtual reality. Um, so
I mean,
yeah, I wonder if this is going to be. I see this being more of a niche product though, because virtual
well,
reality is
yeah,
very affordable now. Like if
exactly.
you can afford a PS5, you can afford virtual reality,
But I
but
think
people still opt
it
for a
goes
PS5 over virtual reality.
through marketing, isn't it? Because if you ask me, as a person who doesn't have Oculus or the
Mm,
Meta,
Mm.
y- you ask me why don't you have one, I'll tell you the only game I know about the VR headsets is Saber.
That's right.
I don't know if any
Mm.
other games exist.
That's
I
the
mean, through
thing.
research I know, but like other than that, like, I have no idea what other games are there.
And that's my point again with the first gen users thing. It's like
Yeah.
the thing with, for example, okay, cool. So one of the things with Apple right now, for example, right, this Vision Pro thing doesn't come out until next year, right? So
Okay.
until early next year, because what they've done is they've decided we're gonna wait a year, and then in that year, we want all the developers and the designers to make this as dope as possible.
Yeah.
Come up with your applications, come up with your whatever else to make this as dope as possible. We're gonna give you a year to do that, right? And
Mm.
be one of the first people to do it. I feel like with VR, they launched it and it came with a couple of games.
Mm.
And they were like, we partnered with these companies to make some games that we
Yeah.
think you'll really enjoy with VR, right? And then it came out, and then as it came out, more people then came out with more games for the VR. Does that make
Mhm.
sense? So,
Yeah.
and that to me is a first gen issue. Like
Yeah.
you're
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense.
you're a guinea pig of this machine that isn't really capable of a lot because the developers and whatever's haven't done a lot yet.
Yeah, it's true.
I
There were a lot
don't.
of flaws with it as well, like basic flaws. Like I don't know,
Yeah.
like you, I invited you guys over to play on my. I have like the first generation Oculus Rift,
Mm.
and I think the first time I invited people over, so you put it on, right? You're playing a game, and you sweat because it's like you're moving around.
Right.
And I don't know if you remember, there was like a foam thing like that went around like
Yeah.
around the rim, and that would just get wet, soaked with
Yeah.
sweat. And if you're sharing it with other people, you
It's
pass it
not.
on.
Yeah.
It's yeah,
And it's heavy.
it is.
It's heavy. You've
Mm.
got cables attached to you and stuff like this. Like it wasn't
Yeah.
necessarily like the most like user friendly thing in the world. But it was cool.
No,
It was cool, like, you know what I'm saying?
it was, yeah.
You could do stuff with it. And but I also agree with you though in that this is definitely not for everybody.
Mm.
And the first step to making sure that this is not for everybody, as you mentioned at the very beginning of this topic, is it's $3,500.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
That's
it's a lot of money.
bro, that's a down payment for a car.
Yeah.
That's a down payment for a car. Or if you go to Sussex and these types of places, that's a down payment for a 1-bedroom house. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
It's gonna be such a niche product.
that's a lot
but-
of money.
Mm.
But I
But
can
sadly,
see
because of how powerful Apple is, the advertising would just push for, and I think loads of people buy
will buy
it
it.
no matter
Yeah.
just because
Yeah,
of
it's
how
Apple.
it. Yeah, yeah.
exactly, yeah.
But I can
That's just
bro,
brand power.
I can see it being I can see it being a huge success.
Do you think they're gonna stay ahead of other companies? Because other people are gonna start to come out with their own tech, right? Do you
Mm.
think they're gonna be able to stay ahead of the game? You know, if, Nvidia, for example, was ahead for a very long time in terms of like graphic cards, CPUs,
No, graphic cards, just graphics
or
cards.
graphic cards only.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and
It's
then
graphic card system.
and then AMD came. Like they've always been in the game, but more recently, the last few years,
You're
they've
talking about Intel.
overtaken.
You're talking about Intel.
Am I talking about Intel?
Yeah, Nvidia is
Yes, you're right,
Nvidia is
right.
still the number one graphics card in the world.
Yeah. Yeah, you are right. You are right.
Yeah,
Intel. Yeah,
Intel.
Intel compared to AMD. You see CPUs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So possibly you might be right, but
Mm.
the Apple Watch is the number one watch in the world.
Mm.
It's been
No,
out for
but
years.
Samsung still follow, didn't it? They still follow with like products
But-
that are similar.
His question is, are people ever gonna overlap it?
Oh, yeah, I don't see that.
The Apple Watch is still the number one. The
Yeah.
iPhone is still the most popular phone in the world. I think so anyway. Like, I think most people still recommend a MacBook over other type of laptops.
I
and all
mean,
these
best
things.
phone in the world, that's debatable.
No,
I
not
mean,
best.
you say
Most
phone-
popular though.
Oh yeah, of course, popular. It's just,
It may not be the best,
they
but
make it
it's,
simple, innit? People
Yeah.
love simple things.
yeah. I think it's still the well. Let me say, when I say iPhone is the most popular, right? Because people are gonna to me, no, Android phones, but Android phones is not a monolith. You have Samsung, you have Google, you have Huawei, you have OnePlus. They're not all. I mean, they're all Android phones, but you can't just group that into one thing.
You kind of have to, and why not? I mean, Apple is its own system, no? There's no other company that uses iOS.
Well, they can't.
Exactly.
Samsung
Yeah.
is number one apparently.
Is it?
Apple's number two.
Oh, I was wrong. Oh, you know what? Oh, I was wrong. Because of certain companies, certain countries. Samsung is like £200 in certain countries.
Oh.
I think the cheapest iPhone is like £400 still.
Yeah, I mean, Apple make the most money.
Oh,
I would assume,
without a
even
doubt.
though Samsung are selling more. Even if we just look at phones only, iPhone versus like a Samsung phone, I don't think there's any competition.
Apple, you make me so angry, man. You make me so angry. If only you didn't do the Apple TV shows, movies, and music. Do you know how good their stock? Do you know how good their stock is, bro? Like they're an index fund, like within as one company. Like they're in everything. But astaghfirullah. It makes me angry, bro. They make so much money, bro. It makes me so angry. But yeah, I don't. To answer your initial question, no, I don't think there'll be. It might be in like VR, for example, but it doesn't seem like they're really. It doesn't seem like they're heading into the VR world. I mean, they're part of it, but I don't think that's where their niche is.
Yeah.
But it will force other people to step up their game, if you will.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think at least for a very long time they're going to be ahead of other people. The only thing is there's probably going to be someone who comes up with a much cheaper version, but then I don't. There's not. You can't compare the two because they are for two different audiences.
You can't. Expensive is always the best thing in the world, bro. Listen. Let's talk business for real quick, right? And that's it. That's the end of this story, brother. I don't want to drag anymore. We've spoken about this for like 30 minutes now. I don't care about like. Look, listen. I'm not gonna buy it. I'll tell you why. Because I can't afford it. If I have that money, I'm buying a car first. I don't even own a car yet. I don't have that money. So I'm not going to be his audience. You let us know if you're going to buy this thing and why you're going to buy it. And tell us if you're not going to buy this thing and let us know why. I'm going to assume that most of you are not buying it for the same reasons that I'm not buying it.
12 cameras. I mean, it has to be.
Bro. So you were saying, Mason?
Was that?
Were you saying something? No? Oh,
I don't think so. Yeah.
Oh, okay,
well, I think I might. I was gonna say something like Apple, you can sponsor us or something.
Oh yeah, I mean, 100 Apple, please, like send us a product and we'll review it for you.
Yeah, we can take a look.
Send us
a product.
Yeah, send us the
3.
Send us the thing and we'll review it for you. You know what I'm saying?
Apple Vision Pro impressions
and then review. So 1 video impressions and then 1 review. Do you know how many subscribers we're gonna get off of that if we can get that? Crazy. I was about to talk about something. Dang, I forgot.
Oh,
it was
life, man. If you had the Vision Pro, it probably would have reminded you.
Oh, I forgot. It was about the price though. It was like 35, bro, 3,500 for. Oh man, that's a lot of money. Anyway, yeah, I mean, but like I said, it doesn't happen till next year, and
that's plenty of time for you to save money.
I'm not saving up for
that. Get a second job, everyone.
People
on a second job, how many